What's up, y'all? My name is Prince, and I'm an urban acolyte. Today, we're picking up with another topic that was brought up in the urban acolyte community on Facebook. If you want to be part of the conversation over there, where we're having substantive conversations about Star Wars, the hero's journey, and pop culture, there's a link down in the video description. All the way at the bottom, I think it says Star Wars chat on Facebook or something. I need to change the name, but click that link. Make sure you fill out the application so that you can be part of the conversation that we're having outside of YouTube. Anyway, this particular topic comes from Trayvon Taylor. He says, I'd like to hear more about how bringing balance to the force does not mean equal use of light and dark. So that's what we're going to be discussing here. Just want to say that if you're brand new to this channel, hey man, this is Urban Acolyte TV. I came up with the idea of the Urban Acolyte because, hey man, when I was a kid, I wanted to be the last dragon and the last Jedi. So I decided I was going to find like-minded people here on YouTube, in the cloud, who are interested in having these conversations around the hero's journey and pop culture / geek culture, and how we can take those lessons that our heroes learned on their hero's journeys and apply them to our daily lives. Right. So if that sounds like something you can get behind, make sure you click that subscribe button and share this with your friends. This is a different kind of Star Wars channel, right? Sometimes we talk news, but sometimes we get deep into the philosophical ideas behind Star Wars, the Jedi, and the Force, and try to bring that into our real lives. And that's really what I'm trying to do in this video. So thanks, Trayvon, for giving me this opportunity to talk about this. My homeboy, Anthony Macri, is a theologian. Anthony's also the vice president of partnership marketing with the Memphis Grizzlies. So not really the hometown team because I'm in Nashville, but representing Tennessee in the NBA. Hope those guys have a great season if you're watching, Anthony. And as a fellow theologian who's not doing theology in the sense that we didn't go off and join a church and become priests, we're trying to live out that theological understanding and view of the world through other means. I think you'll appreciate this because I'm gonna be talking about some heavy stuff. Maybe, I don't know. This isn't scripted, so I can't get too deep when I'm flowing off the dome. Anyway, the idea that the force does not mean equal use of light and dark. That's what a lot of people want. That's what a lot of people want it to mean when we talk about balancing the force, right? I don't know if postmodernism is the proper term for this, but there's this view, there's this want for everything to be gray. We don't see light and dark. We don't see black and white anymore. It's all different shades of gray, right? And I've been one of those people who's been opposed to this view of the force in Star Wars, and really this ideology that there's no clear-cut lines to define anything. It's all shades of gray. I mean, people can argue for that from a philosophical point of view, but when we put it into reality, it just doesn't work. And when I talk about reality, I mean looking at things as a Taoist. And I don't mean a philosophical Taoist like, oh, we can read these books and get these ideas from Zhuangzi and Lao Tzu. I mean someone who puts this stuff in actual practice. And that's something that really, when I see stuff in oh, you're supposed to be this and you're supposed to be that. And it's like, well, you're going from kind of this Western, very Platonic idea, this really showing a lot of Christian bias. It's really a Christian point of view, right? That it's either good or it's bad. And you got to have this kind of morality and it's got to be good. And you got to be in line with the good, or you're bad and you're doing it wrong and you're a hypocrite and you're a liar and you're false and this and that. And it's like, but we're talking about putting things into practice, the doing, right? Not being a human being, but being a human doing. Reverend Gale, my, at well, actually, y'all don't know. I don't know why I said, well, Peter knows because he goes to my church here in Nashville. But at First she spoke on that yesterday. So check out that video of her sermon. I'm actually in the video because I helped out with the service. I did the welcome and the chalice lighting and chalice extinguishing. So check out that video if you want to hear her talk on your work and being a human doing and not a human being, because that's what I see a lot of when we have this conversation around the force and people wanting things to be gray, is they're coming at it from this philosophical point of view and not actually putting it into practice, right? How does this actually look? How does this actually work when we apply it to real life, not just, you know, some fantastic scenario that only exists in the clouds somewhere, right? So the idea that the force is equal parts light and dark, that balancing the force means the light is here, the dark is here, and you got a scale and it's just like this, and the force is not balanced until they're, you know, like Lady Justice is supposed to be, you know, with her that doesn't work. The force being in balance means it is in motion, right? It's sometimes the light is stronger than the dark, and the darkness rises and light to meet it, right? Just like Snoke said, darkness rises and light to meet it, right? The light meeting the dark keeps things in motion. Then the light overtakes the dark, but then the dark overtakes the light, and it's yin. It's the flow of yin and yang, right? In Ely Chin. And a lot of y'all are like, oh, here he goes talking about this crappy Tai Chi stuff. But look, man, look, this is the system guide in Ely Chin. And we've got, you know, the Tao symbol. You've got yin, you've got yang, right? You got them in motion. Of course, we also have the Dharma chakra, because Ely Chin is Taoism, it's Buddhism, it's the Tai Chi philosophies and Zen philosophy. The Tai Chi principles in Zen philosophy, right? And the Tai Chi principles are, what are they? They exist in the classics. These are poems written about Tai Chi, the principles of Tai Chi, and you study Tai Chi, you read the poems, right? Just reading the poems is not enough, because if you aren't a human doing, you can't be a human being one who understands the classics, that understands the principles. You have to be able to do them in order to be them, in order to be the one who understands them. Same thing with the force. You have to understand that the force is just this thing. It's like Luke said to Rey, right? To think that the Jedi have a monopoly on the light side, it's heresy, right? It's a fallacy, right? The Jedi in all of their hubris came to believe that it's like Bendu said, right? And I'm starting to think that the Jedi, when we look at the Mortis arc, the Jedi were supposed to be what the Father was. The Father balanced the son and the daughter, right? The dark and the light. But at some point, the Jedi focused on Ashla, just like, oh, you're a Jedi. You worship the Ashla, right? Sith, the Bogan, right? The dark side, right? And they split where it should have just been, there's just the Force, and there's light and there's dark. In the Dawn of the Jedi comic books, which are no longer canon, that is the Jedi, the mystic center. They're the ones in the center, right? I don't remember your name, but he's in the Urban Acolyte Facebook community. He jumped all over me. No, the Jedi are gray, and the Force Awakens alluded to the Jedi are going to be gray. And Prince, you didn't read it. You don't know what the hell you're. And I was like, look, dude, at the end of the day, I don't give a damn where, if Lucasfilm says that, hey, the Jedi are going gray, and this is the gray way is the only way, then I'll say, hey, man, in Star Wars, the gray way is the only way, I guess, right? But as an urban acolyte, as somebody I'm not running around with, oh man, I'm a Jedi, I'm a real life Jedi, and, you know, wearing fucking Jedi robes and stuff on the streets in real life, right? The gray way is not the only way. That the gray way means you can't distinguish between light and dark. You can't distinguish between yin and yang. In that poem, it says something like, first came the dark, then came the light, something haze gray, and the only way to get through haze gray is through refined Jedi sight. Refinement, homeboy, refinement is, you missed that word, right? You're telling me I need to read carefully. Refinement means, okay, so See, this is why, like I was like, Prince, we don't want to hear about your yoga, Tai Chi crap. And I'm like, well, if you don't want to hear that, then you're never going to be understand what I'm talking about, right? Because let's say this is the start of, this is absorb, project. So this is the start of the yin cycle. So I'm yin. Now I'm transitioning to yang, right? And I'm not supposed to be teaching Ili Chin online, but this is the only way I know how to describe this, right? So I'm back to the yin cycle. I'm transitioning to the yang cycle. Now, where I'm going with that is if you're gray, you're just doing this. You don't understand the transition from yin to yang. Oh, I'm yin, now I'm yang, Prince. I'm yin, now I'm yang. You don't understand the point of transition, right? And so, and it's not just, it looks like I'm just moving my hands and waving my arms. But when you feel that in the body, you'll start to feel that all the way to the bone. You'll feel that in your internal organs, all of the muscles. The more you refine, the deeper you can feel, right? It's just like when we talk about, I said this in some of my Tai Chi videos, that I may have them private because I'm moving them from the other channel to this one, right? But I talk about this concept called sung. Sung means relaxation, right? To really have good internal kung fu, you have to be more sung than your opponent, more relaxed, right? And so you can be sung in the body, right? You can be completely relaxed and able to produce power, but then you have to be sung in the mind. Your mind has to be clear. That's where the meditation comes in. And then you go a step even further, then, and this gets into stuff that I'm not even equipped to talk about that, right? But, when people ask me, oh, Prince, talk about the force and chi. And I'm like, well, if we're talking about this stuff from internal kung fu and Chinese religions, the force isn't chi. The force would be shin, which is spirit, right? That's what the force would be if we're really talking about, stuff from Eastern. Now, I'm thinking George Lucas probably didn't know that at the time when he first sat down, but as he's had more time, 30, 40 years to work on this stuff, I think, if he continued down that path, or, if he's, is a Methodist Buddhist and he's gotten deeper into this Asian spirituality, I think at some point he'd say, yeah, the force is that spiritual level, right? Jing, Qi, Shin, it would be the Shin level, right? So when we talk about relaxing even deeper, you relax into the body, you relax into the mind, and you relax into the spirit, the soul, the force, whatever, right? And so it's just that. It's not dark and light. It's just there's different cycles. There's different cycles of movement, but to have a complete movement, you have to have both. You have to have the dark and you have to have the light, and you understand the transition between the two of them. Now, if you only have the yin cycle, well, I can only absorb so much. I'll absorb, and at some point I'm breaking a principle. If I'm in a fight, I can only absorb so much, right? And now I've reached extreme yin, right? And now somebody's just going to take me out, right? So you can't do it, right? You have stagnation. If you understand Chinese medicine, stagnation of the qi is a bad thing. Stagnation of the light side, meaning the Jedi rose up to they've reached the height of their hubris. Extreme yin leads to extreme yang, right? They reached the height of their hubris, and all it took was one Sith to topple the whole thing, right? Well, two, but really it was one, because everyone under Palpatine was a stooge, except for Maul. And Maul, he didn't anticipate that Maul was going to go down the way he did. He fully thought he was going to carry out all his plans with Maul as his apprentice. And I mean, that's totally been retconned in the canon, but hey man, that's what Palpatine said. Maul was an unfortunate accident. I didn't foresee that, right? But it is what it is. Vader, now I've got the chosen one, and this prophecy of Mortis can't come to pass as long as I keep the chosen one in check. So that was like his ultimate, at that point, extreme yang leads to extreme yin, right? He's reached the height of his power. I've got the chosen one on my team. This prophecy is never going to come to pass. He's not going to bring balance to the Force by destroying the Sith, if he is a Sith, and I got him under my thumb, and then I go and finish what Plagueis started, and I become immortal, I become a god, right? I unlock the what is it? The world between worlds, and now I can move in and out of time any place I want. Maybe I can stop Anakin from becoming Vader in the suit. So now my apprentice is even more powerful. I go and kill Obi-Wan, right? Before he can, maim Anakin. And now I've got Anakin in all his glory, kissing up to me, right? But that didn't happen. Why? Because of stagnation, right? Extreme. So like I said, the Force, balanced means in motion, right? The Jedi spreading the light is what they're supposed to do, but understanding that, hey man, it's our job just to be there, to be a presence, right? To serve as the beacons of the vessels of the Force, not to try to control the Force, because that's what Sith do. And that's what the Jedi were essentially trying to do in the prequels. They were trying to control the Force. We dictate who becomes a Jedi, who can learn the ways of the Force, and all this other stuff. And it became a bureaucratic mess, the same way the Republic had, right? The Jedi were a microcosm of the Republic, right? I don't know why that just came to me. Has anybody else ever said that? I don't know, because I don't watch anybody else. So y'all have to let me know. Has anybody else on YouTube said that? And if they haven't, hey man, y'all need to be sharing some of the stuff that's coming straight off the dome. Some of the other people. Shout out to my man Jason Ward and Brian at the oh shoot, man, I can't believe I forgot Brian's name. Brian that writes for Star Wars magazine, and he's got Full of Sith podcast. Brian, what is your name? Swankmatron, isn't it? No. Man, I can't remember. Dork Sides of the Force. Shout outs to them. Brian Young. Yep, I knew if I opened up my Twitter, I was going to see him. So yeah, let them know that, say, hey man, Prince just dropped some dimes in this video. Make sure you watch all 18 minutes of it. It took him a while to get there. Maybe hey, some of y'all are mad because I get on tangents and it takes me a while to make my point. That's because these videos aren't scripted. The other videos when I started out were scripted because I was a grad student and I had time to sit down and write that stuff. So if you want, Prince, you need to get back to how you used to do. Hey man, y'all need to be sharing my videos. Help me get, hey, if I start getting 1 million views a month again, and the AdSense revenue that comes with that, and I get this training, this Urban Acolyte Academy up running, hey man, y'all, I'll have time to go to Starbucks for 2 hours a day and work on video scripts. But until that happens, hey man, y'all gonna have to get what I can put out, right? Otherwise, you just won't get anything. Cause I'd be like, hey man, it's not worth my time to make videos, man. I sit here, talk. Turn these hot lights on, edit the videos, get them posted, make thumbnails. Hey, I'm a one-man show. I don't know about these other channels that have the girlfriends and wives and teams. It's just me, dog. And the person who y'all like, hey man, she might end up being the Mrs. Urban Acolyte. Hey man, she might say, don't do those Star Wars videos, baby. Just go do some Tai Chi and let's go do some Qigong. Don't waste your time on that. So, or actually, she's got businesses. She might say, hey, why don't you use all that camera equipment and stuff and let's promote my businesses, right? Not business, businesses. She's got 3 businesses, and let's go do some Qigong and help me make a Qigong Tai Chi course, right? Because y'all will probably watch her teach Tai Chi. You won't watch me. I know, because I'm not, I'm not a hot Asian girl, but y'all will probably watch her. So maybe that's what I'll do is I'll just teach her all the Tai Chi stuff and let her put out the courses. And it'll basically be the stuff that I would do, but nobody wants to look at my funny looking ass. And that's how I will teach you guys Tai Chi to apply it to the Force. Apply it to Star Wars. I just get a hot Asian girl to do it for me. Right? Because that's, We only start listening when it's a hot girl telling us what it is to do. I know how you guys think because I'm one of you. Maybe that's what I ought to do is I ought to start writing down my ideas, get a really hot geek girl to just, read the teleprompter and tell y'all all the stuff that I want to say. And then I'll have like 1 million subscribers, right? Well, she will. She'll blow up like Jenny Nicholson, right? Because, at the end of the day, we all are just in it for the nookie. I mean, the cookie. We do it all for the cookie, like Limp Bizkit.
If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and click on that subscribe button so that you can take your first steps towards becoming an urban acolyte. Embark on the journey of becoming the hero of your own story and become a force for change in your community. Make sure to check out more videos from this channel, especially the one that YouTube has recommended for you. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. Thanks for watching. Y'all keep on breathing and may the force of others be with you. Always.